Welcome back to ICC Parent Talk with your host Vidya. Before we went on break, we were talking about kids and technology. That's our topic for today. And we were talking with Viji Rangaswamy, who's a computer teacher. And we had some very diverse viewpoints. Viji is saying that maybe our generation really doesn't get it. And we'll maybe looking at a future where people are going to be completely technologically, living their lives in a very different way as from where we imagined they would. And while we were on break, we talked about how the biggest issue and the biggest concern is one of access. In that it's not just that the technology is out there, is that there's a lot of stuff out there that as a parent you really have no control over. And in a way, our parents didn't have to face that dilemma because if you wanted to get into trouble, there weren't that many avenues to get into trouble. Whereas kids today can access an insane amount of really crazy stuff on the internet, for instance. So, Viji, what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so like we were talking about it, that when I grew up, everybody knew when you went to college, you could get into which you want if you wanted to access things that you're not supposed to, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. You could find ways, but it wasn't easy. You had to be in the right place and in the right environment. And
I think the example you gave was of access to pot, for instance.
Oh, yes. And, I thought this was a family show, my dear. Okay. So, but that, having said that, exactly. But now, that's a physical thing. Now, you would say that's the same restrictions. I think not over here right now. If a child wants to get into trouble, it's so many easy ways to do it because they have the information of how to access anything, how they need to do it. And that's where I think the challenge of current parents is, especially because like I was telling you, I'm not in that anymore. Both my children are teenagers, 18 and above. So, seriously, probably I need less information about what they're doing right now.
Well, they're adults.
Correct, but we are talking about those 5 and under, 10 and under, or the tweens.
Tweens, yes.
Especially the tweens. And again, another thing that I was thinking about is, now, is the brain development or physical development at the right pace to be absorbing all this information?
Exactly. There's all kinds of information out there that's not graded by age or any kind of thing. It's like open a box and everything is there. The good, the bad, the ugly is all there. And then if you've given your child access to that information for other reasons, you may say, okay, you can check your email, but at the same time, on the side of the email, there'll be ads that their brains may not be ready for.
Exactly.
And that's a perpetual challenge.
That's a perpetual challenge, and it's very difficult for the parent to be sitting there constantly. You don't want to do that. You want your child to be independent, and that's why I think all school systems, the child stays with the parent till they're 16 years old, basically, because they are learning what is right and wrong in a way. It's an imbibed thing. It's an absorbed thing.
It is, but at the same time, you're having an influence that's not a parental influence that's coming at them through technology,
correct,
which really you don't have any filters over.
I don't have. Like I was explaining, we had a project where the students were allowed access to Google Images, and even though there are restrictions which Google provides and we set, there was this child, and luckily for me, she was in 5th grade, and she was nice enough. She came and told me, Mrs. Rangaswamy, there's an inappropriate picture over there. So I went there and I told her, and we go through this periodically at the beginning of the class. In between, we poll and say, okay, you all know what is inappropriate. Please do not, because I, as a single person, cannot be at every given terminal at 24 terminals at the same time. So, but that is it, what it throws up. And let me tell you, she was searching for Pink Panther. She was searching for Pink Panther, and she actually got a nude picture.
Kids, if you're listening to this, don't be tempted to search for Pink Panther.
I know, parents. That's true. Okay, since you've said that, parents, go to history and check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And those kind of issues we'll talk about a little bit later in the show. My next guest is Sheena Vaidyanathan, who also teaches technology. It's across the Los Altos School District. And Sheena, you found a very positive use for technology, and tell us something about that.
Okay, so my background, it's nice to be on the show, Vidya, and my background, as you said, is in technology, and fortunately, after many years of working in as a computer scientist in Silicon Valley, I had a chance to study art. So I think that gave me a different spin on it. Mm-hmm. And I went back into actually teaching art. And that's where I brought technology in. I brought in technology not in the way I used to use it, but more as another medium. I was teaching watercolor and ceramic. So to me, the next obvious thing was to use the medium computer as a medium. And that's where I brought it in. So that you may say, I don't know if you call it a positive spin on technology, but that was my kind of angle to it, that technology and, as we just heard from Vijay, that it's just a tool. So if it's a tool, then to me it's a paintbrush, right?
That's fascinating. Can you give me an example of some of the creative stuff that you can do using computers?
Yeah, so I think if it is a paintbrush to artists, it's a paintbrush to any kind of an art medium. So whether you're a musician or a writer, there are enough tools out there, and I think we all know that are available for you to go in and create. And for example, if you have an iPhone, yes, you're playing Angry Birds, but why don't you also install Art Studio or brushes or a photography app? Put in something else that's a little different, and it's
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. It's sort of encouraging kids to use it in a more active way rather than just to play a game. We're going to go on a break. We're talking about kids and technology and the challenges of parenting with respect to that. This is your host Vidya. We'll be back in a few minutes to talk more about creative uses of technology.
Hey Neha, how are you doing? Haven't seen you around lately. Is everything alright?
Yeah, I've been so busy running around with the kids and their activities. I have not been able to find time for myself. How do you manage to be on the go every time with kids and their activities, yet find time for yourself?
Oh, it's so simple. We are the members at the India Community Center. They have a wide range of programs for the entire family. While the kids are engaged in their activities, I take out time to do yoga and also the amazing Group X classes like Bollywood aerobics. In fact, their membership fees are so competitive that our whole family is enrolled with ICC. And we benefit by having discounted rates for events, classes, and even the summer camps.
This is excellent. I will immediately check out their website and see how to go about enrollment. Thank you so much, Seema.
Don't thank me. Thank the India Community Center. They are the best in community service in the Bay Area, and I'm glad to be part of them. Please log on to www.indiacc.org for more information.
Robo-da, robo-da, robo-da. Zoom, zoom, robo-da, robo-da, robo-da. Boom, boom, robo-da, robo-da, robo-da. Zoom, zoom, robo-da, robo-da, robo-da.
Welcome back to ICC Parent Talk with your host Vidya. Today's topic, if you're just tuning in, is kids and technology. And we've talked about some of the challenges that we have as parents when our kids are exposed to technology now. It's so prevalent, whether it is on computers on their desk or on the smartphones in their hands. It's all over the place. And how do we make them use it in a more productive way? And we talked to Viji Rangaswamy, who was a teacher, and she talked about how this new generation is looking at technology in a completely different way compared to what we may have looked at and we were exposed to as youngsters ourselves. And now I'm talking to Sheena Vaidyanathan, who also teaches technology in the Los Altos School District. Now, Sheena, we were talking about positive uses of technology, and you talked about how for you it was